guys, welcome to this video. In today's video, we want to talk about JavaScript events. JavaScript is one of the languages that is used for interactivity in any web applications. So JavaScript event is very important because at some point you may want to do one thing or the other in your project. So there are different types of JavaScript events that we'll look at. We'll just look at some few of them. Then we're just going to do some example. This is one of the example we're going to do to really understand JavaScript events. You can use it to see how you can interact here over events. And also you can also do counter to see what all this is all about. So guys, let's just dive in to the coding. I have created a folder already here, JS events, down here, and I've opened it with Visual Studio Code, which I want to start coding right away. So for you to follow along with me, you need to create a folder in any directory in your system. Then you can follow along with me. All right, so what is JavaScript event? That's one of the questions. An event or JavaScript events are actions that occur in the browsers, like a mouse click or a key press or a page load and so on. There are different kinds of things, or you submit a form. All of them are seen as an event in JavaScript. So you can decide to do one or two things down there in when all these things happen. So now to make JavaScript respond to the events, we use event listener to listen to any activity that happened on the page. So the listener will listen for a specific event on the element or the web page and so on. So such as button click or an input field. So these are the things that we listen to, and once this event occurs, a certain code will execute. So you see that is very useful. At some point, I know you see you scroll a site like this. If you just hover on this, the color will change. All right, so that's what we're just going to do straight away as we want to start. So we're just going to do these three simple projects in the course of learning this in this video. All right, so let's dive in. First of all, I'll just create HTML file, and I can just call it mouse events.html. All right. Okay, it's normal HTML file that we know. So I'll just create the mouse event. So initially the events, for you to add events, you need to have the HTML element. That's the markup you want to add the event to. So you don't just add event. So events has a specific syntax, right? So the syntax follows this way. You have the element dot, then you have the keyword add events listener like so. Then you specify the type of event you want to attach. Like I've said, we have so many events. We have click events, submit events, mouse events, key press, and so on. There are different types of events you can add. Then this will also have a function, a callback function there. So this is just the basic syntax for you to add event listener to element, right? Okay, so we're just going to go straight and do one or two projects and see how we can achieve it. All right, so the first project we'll look at is mouse events. We want to attach an event on this, a click event. Okay, a click event on this. Let me call it click events. Sorry, click events rather than mouse events. All right. Click events. All right. So we want to listen to click. Anytime the elements in question is being clicked, then we're going to execute some code. All right. This is very useful in web development. All right. So I'll just bring out the normal syntax of HTML. Right, a very simple syntax of HTML. So the project we want to use and test is, I want to call it a change color project. Let me call it that way. Change color projects. All right. So this project, the idea behind it is we're going to have an element that will display initial color. Then we'll be using button to change the color. Then once the button is clicked, different colors, it will just change. So that's what we want to achieve in this particular video. So you understand how click event works. All right. So we have a very basic HTML down here now. So let me just bring out in the body tag, I want to have a div, a simple div. Then the div, I want to give it a class of box. So I can just do div, or I can just do dot box. Dot will give you a class, right? So you're going to have a div with a class of box. Let me expand this so we can see. All right, a class of box right way here. So then I'm going to leave it like this for now. Right, I'm going to leave it like this for now. Then I will have a button below it. The button, I want to call it button. All right. So this button is, I'm going to have change color. All right. So this is what we have, just basic HTML. So I'll just open it with live server. If you don't have live server, you can install it. Come to extension here, then search for live server. You're going to see this live server. This particular one is the one I'm using. So you can just install this live server on your system so you can follow it along on your Visual Studio Code rather. You can follow along with what I'm doing. So when you successfully install the live server, if you right click on this your HTML file and scroll down, you're going to see open with live server, right? Or you're going to see it here, go live. Anyone you can go with it. So I'll click here, open with live server. All right. So this is the page. I'm just going to close all these ones I showed you. All right. This is the page. What you can see now is just the button. Let me just minimize this so we have it side by side. So we can flow along. We can see what we are doing. All right. Okay. All right, I think we are good. So this is what we just have now. This is just what we have, just the button, right? You cannot see this box because there's nothing there, but if I write something here, you're going to see color. All right, you can see it up there. That means the box is there. The div for the box is there. So next thing, for us to see that div, I'm going to apply a style, internal style down here on the head of this. So I'm going to have a style tag. So in the style, I want to call the box. Then I'm going to apply width and height. I'm going to have a width of 100%. Then I'm also going to have height of I'm also going to have height of 100% or 100 pixels, sorry. pixels. All right. Then I'm going to give it an initial background color. There, initial background color of sky blue, like so. All right. Then I can also give it margin, margin, margin 20 pixels, or 20 pixels. All right. Okay, you can already see this. This is what we have now. You can see it here, right? Okay, so now we have the box straight away, right? We have the box. So the next thing we're going to do is to add event listener. But see, if I click this button now, nothing happens, nothing, absolutely nothing. For this color to change, there must be a way that this button, you should listen to the button click and write some codes to perform some tasks when the button is being clicked. So that's what we want to do now, right? And that is what events are all about in JavaScript. So quickly, in the box, I'm going to give the box an ID. An ID, I can call it color box. Color box. So then the button also, I can give the button an ID of change color button. All right, sorry, this is supposed to be equals to, all right, change color button. Now we have the ID. Why do we give it ID? We want to use it in the JavaScript below. So I'll just write the JavaScript inside here. But when you are doing the real work, you will need to create an external script for it so your work will look neat. So I'm just going to have a script tag down here. All right, inside the script tag, first of all, I want to call a function get element by ID to get, I want to get this change color btn or colored box, and I want to get change color btn, right? So that I can manipulate it. So for you to do that in JavaScript, you're going to have a variable, we call it box. The box is referring to this particular div right here. So box equals to document dot get element by ID down here. Then that was why we gave it this ID, right? So we're just going to copy this ID and paste it. All right. So now for us to verify that we have gotten the ID, we're going to verify that we have gotten the ID. Let's get the ID of the button too. So const, we're going to call it button. Button equals to documents dot get elements by ID, right? All right, so we're just going to get this change color btn. I just copy from there and I paste it here. All right, that's how to get the element. What we just did is we will just grab the elements, the HTML element, that is the div and the button with JavaScript. Let me show you. I'm going to console log the box and the button. So I can say console.log. All right, so I'll just call it box straight here. So we're going to see box, and also permit me to just copy this so and paste it down. Whoa. I'll just copy it, then I want to paste it down. Then I want to call this button, then this is the button. I just copy the button here and paste it. So let's say if we have gotten the element. So in our browser, you're going to right click the browser and look for inspect, click on the inspect, then this will open for you to see, right? Let me find a way to adjust this. All right. So it will open side by side for you. Then you can come down to console. You're going to see that in the console we have locked the div. You can see that we just cut it here. If I remove this, you see that we don't have that one again. We are only having the div, right? Okay. And now that we have that div available, if you check it, if you check the div here, look at it. You're going to see some properties, access key, a lot of stuff, right? You're going to see attribute style map. You're going to see attribute, which you can see class, ID, then, and so on and so forth. You're going to see a lot of stuff. These are the things that we can use in JavaScript. One of the things, if you look closer, you're going to see the on click, on blow, on cancel, on play, on click. You can see the on click down here. So this is what we want to make use of, right? Which means that we can attach any of this on click now to these elements, right? Okay, so this is what JavaScript will help us do right away. So we have verified. But what if we miss the spelling, right? I'm going to remove one of them. Let's say we miss the spelling here. We did not get the main ID here. You see, we just missed it. You're going to see that it returns null down here. All right, so that's just that. That means you have gotten the elements, right? So now is for us to attach the on click to the button. Remember, is the button that we click. Let me return it back. Is this button that we will click, but not the box, right? So which one will take the on click? The on click event. Is it the button or the box? Okay, it's the button. So we're going to attach the on click event to the button such that when it's clicked, we're going to change the color of this div. So I'm going to call the button, since the button represents this button now, button dot add events listener, right way. Okay, the syntax I showed you earlier is what we want to apply now. So you can see that there is a function that we can call on the button. So what type of listener do we want to attach here? We want to attach click events, right? So we want to type is click, right? So we're now going to pass in a function. In this case, we will just pass in an anonymous function, or arrow function rather, here. All right. So now I'm going to console log. So you see that the button now will be listening to click. So let me log it, console.log, clicked. Okay. So every time the user click on this button, now I want to log that the button is clicked. So let's just open the console again and go to the console right here. Now you're not going to see anything, right? Even though we refresh this page, nothing. But once we click here, if I click 1, you're going to say click 2, click. So as many times that we click the button, as many times as we click the button, the function will be executing. So whatever that's inside this function will execute as we click the button. All right, so now the idea is we're going to bring in some colors we want to change and dynamically update this box which we just cut from here. So let's just check how we can get that done. So on inside the function, first off, we're going to have a list of colors, right? List of colors in an array, colors name in array. So I'll call it blue. Then I'll have light coral. Then I'm going to have light green, sorry, light green. Then I'm going to have orange, I'm also going to have purple. Okay, that's the colors I want to have for now. All right, so I have a list or array of colors straight away. So now I want to use JavaScript and dynamically inject all these colors. Remember that once we provide the color name to the background color of the box, it will overwrite whatsoever that was there. So let's just get it done now. So I'm going to call box. The box is this box that we got, remember? So box dot style dot background color. So if you look down, you're going to see this background color up here equals to colors. The colors we are referring to the array. These are variables that holds the array of these colors. So we're going to call colors, then in array. Then we're going to call math. Math is a mathematical function or a function in JavaScript that allow you to access some mathematical functions. So math.floor, okay, math.random. All right, we are accessing random number function in the math module, right? Because we want to dynamically generate inject these colors, right, based on the length of the array. That's just what we are trying to do. All right, so we're going to call colors dot length. So the length of the colors dot length will return the length of the color. That's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be 5. So we are scaling that. We are generating number between 0 and 1. That's math.floor. And so math.random.colors.length is now scaling the number between the size of the array. That's what we are just doing. So that means in this array, the array starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But normal size is 5, but we'll start counting from 0. So we are generating random number between 0 to the size of the array. So the size of the array, right? Okay, 0 inclusive and the size of the array inclusive, right? That's just what we are trying to generate. Okay, so with this dynamically, so if this return, let me just show us what this will return. This maths.floor. First of all, let me lock this first. Okay. I'll just call it const a equals to, I want to lock it so you're going to see what will happen when we finally click the button. So I'll log a console.log a. So this will be let me call it logic. All right. Okay, so it's a kind of logic. All right. So now that we have this, I'm going to open the terminal. That is the console here. So let's just click one. You see that the logic returned 4, right? It's not going to be more than the size of the array. If I click again, it will just be generating random number, but within the size of this array. That's what it does, right? It will not be more than 4 because we started counting from 0, right? So this is what will continue generating. So if we click, let me clear this. If we click 0, if we click once and it's returned 2, that means we are expecting 0, 1, 2. It's going to be light green, right? If we click again, then it's 0. That means we are expecting blue. If we click again, then it's 1. That means we are expecting this color. So that's just what we are doing straight away. That's what the logic is all about. Okay, I believe you understand. So we'll just go on. All right. So with this, the idea is the codes will execute only if the button is clicked. When this button is clicked, that's when the code will execute. So at this juncture, it's supposed to work. Let's cross our fingers while we give it a test. All right. So let's click 1, nothing happens. Click, nothing happens, nothing happens. It's like we miss something important. All right, let's just look and see. We have missed something. Right. Let's open the terminal and see what is happening there. Okay, so I'll clear. Let's click. Okay, we got some error. Cannot read the property of null, right? Okay, we can now see in line 27. All right. Okay, box. So that means, oh, we changed the box ID. That's why we did not get it. I later removed the X. So let me add it up while we try it again. All right. So anytime you have challenge in JavaScript, it's good you inspect the console and see what the error is talking about. So by now it's supposed to work. Let's cross our fingers and check it out. So let's click. All right. Whoa. So that's what we're expecting. So you can click as many times and the color will be changing, right? Okay, so this is just the project. So with now you can see how click event works, right? In case you want to do some things when a button is clicked. So this is just how to achieve it. All right. This is the first project. So now we can go straight to the second project. See you guys in this second project. All right, welcome back to the second project. In the second project, we're going to check another listener that we can implement. So I want to implement mouseover that will listen to when, this is clicked. The one we just finished, the previous one is clicked, while this one want to do on mouseover. If you offer the box, the color should change without clicking anything. So I'm going to create a new project and call it mousepaints.html. So I'm just quickly going to type the HTML syntax and call it mouse paint project. All right. So the same way, I'm going to have a div with a class name box. So I can just say dot -box. Okay, so remember, as we did before, I'm also going to give it an ID. So the ID will call it in JavaScript. I'm going to call it box. All right. So that's right. So now that we have overbox, we're going to have this particular one does not need any button, right? So you don't need button for this one. We just need the overbox. So I'm going to close this particular one straight away. Then I'll right click. Before I right click, let me add style to it as we did before too on the head. We went to place a style of this overbox. So the overbox, this is the class dot overbox. So you can just copy it and do dot paste it here and open the syntax. Then we're going to give it a width. This particular one, I'll give it a width of 200 pixels. 200 pixels, so it will be big. Then I'm going to give it a height of 200 pixels. Height of 200 pixels. All right, guys. So I'm still also going to give it an initial background. So I will say background color. So that will be let me give it slash blue. All right. So this is the initial background. Then margin, I'm going to give it a margin of 50 pixels. 50 pixels up, right? Okay, so let's check it out. I just right click. Remember, if you have not installed live server, you should do that. Check the previous video, you see it. Check back. All right, so I'll open it with live server. So you see this, boom, everywhere is good. So this one, there's no button anywhere. So we want to attach a mouse over effect so that will change the background color, right? Okay, so I'm going to bring out a script tag down here. Then I'm going to get this box by ID, this particular box by ID, so I can call it overbox. So I can just say const overbox equals to document.get element by ID document.get element by ID is down one, then the overbox. Remember, what you name it here is what you're going to call it. So I just copy it and paste it. All right, so we are good straight away. Now that we are cutting it by ID, you can also console log this and be sure that you have it on the console before you proceed, but I'll proceed straight away. So I want to attach a listener here. So this is going to be overbox.add event listener. We're going to say it right there. Then the type of the listener is going to be mouse over. All right, mouse over. Then we're going to attach an arrow function down there. All right. Then what we need to do, we just need to change the background. So opaque box dot style. Anytime you want to apply CSS in JavaScript, you use the style attribute. Opaque box dot style dot background color is no. The color is not the way you spell in CSS. If it is color, the color must be in camel case in this way. The C will start with capital letter if there are two words like this. So this is equals to, let me just give it green. So it will be too obvious. All right. So I believe we have missed something because I'm seeing a lot of what is it called? Okay. All right. So let's check from where we miss. All right. That was where we made something. Okay. So we have it now over. So by now it's supposed to work. Let's give it a try while we cross our finger. Oh, so this is it. This is that. This again, and paste it down here and make this particular color to be blue. Right? So this one is going to be mouse out. Sorry. So this one is mouseover. We still have a fence that is called mouse out. All right. So if you take it out, what will happen? We can still take it to the previous color or any other color. We can take it to select this particular color or blue. So let's give it a try. You see, right? This is what it works. If you want to take it to the previous one, you place it down. So, all right. So that is how to attach these two listing elements. So guys, there are many other listeners out there. So it's your task for you to go and check out most used defined listener in JavaScript and what they are used for. Uh, do well to subscribe to my channel. In the upcoming video, we'll be doing some project with JavaScript to see how you can apply CSS, JavaScript, and HTML to realize a good functioning mini application. It will help you to come up and know how to apply complex logic in your project you will later handle. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and that will give me more energy to record more videos. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.